Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a little milestone in our show here. We reached episode 10 or episode X in the Spacetime Sessions. Before we get into it, just make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe and turn on post notification for when we do post. And then, of course, just always make sure to follow our social medias on TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram. But we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get into it. We're going to cover a lot of stuff today. So let's just jump straight into it.
Yeah, again, like you said, after a lot of trial and error, I think we're getting closer to where we want the show to be. This is episode 10 of the Space Time Sessions, and we have a pretty packed show for you guys in terms of combat sports. Like Ben said, we're going to get right into it. So, boxing is not something that we cover on this show, but I just had to because I saw this and I was like, all right, we need to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the biggest fan of Jake Paul at all. I think he's a fraud. You cannot convince me that he doesn't pay off guys to not knock him out. But so the only reason I'm even talking about him is because apparently he's gone out and called out Anthony Joshua, the guy who flatlined Francis Ngannou.
Mm.
So this guy, he has a habit. He's like the new Floyd Mayweather, right? This dude will only take fights he knows he can win.
Mm-hmm.
So something started going in my head. I'm like, okay, so why is he calling out Joshua? Because Joshua is a legit boxer.
Yeah.
He's not any of the trash or has-beens that he's fought. The first 30 seconds of the Tyson fight, he clinched and was like, bro, don't forget, please don't knock me out. And then Tyson did nothing for the rest of the fight. So Anthony Joshua is a legit heavyweight. And from what I understand, Paul bulked up to fight Tyson at that weight.
Yeah.
So you're the one that knows all that walk around weight stuff. I don't really pay attention to it. But anyway, so that's what I understand. So he bulked up to take that fight. So now he's calling out Joshua. And you can see here, I'm going to put this up here real quick. This is what interested me, right? Jake says, I know that I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass. He doesn't have a chin, has no skill, and he's stiff. I don't know where this dude gets that. The chin part is maybe true. He doesn't have the greatest chin, but he's still a legit heavyweight who beat a lot of people before he lost to Dubois, the guy who just lost to Usyk a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. And this isn't speculation or anything like that. This really happened. I'm going to put this up so you guys can see. So Joshua confirmed it and he put this on his Instagram story. Take a look. So conversations have taken place between Jake and Joshua in regards to fighting. I don't know how this plays out. I think if this fight happens, the only way that this fight ends is in Jake Paul face planting or a decision. If this fight ends in anything other than Jake Paul getting face planted, it's a scam. There's just no two ways about it for me. So I don't know if you even knew about this. I just wanted to bring this up real quick.
No, yeah. So I knew that he was talking some trash to Anthony Joshua for like however long it's been. I don't think that that fight is competitive at all because regardless of the things he's saying, even though that I don't watch boxing a whole lot, I know that Jake Paul is probably the average fighter or a below average fighter, and he'll just outwork him. So like, is that something I would say? Yeah, I mean, why not? But that's not a competitive fight whatsoever.
The thing that intrigues me about the whole thing, though, is why would he call this dude out? I don't get it. He's only called out bums and has-beens, right? And the one legit boxer that he fought, Tommy Fury, he lost to.
Yeah, he probably thinks in his head that he's ready for that step up in competition, which he's not. But if that fight does happen, he'll get humbled. but in his head, he's probably under the assumption that he is ready for that level of competition.
I gotta tell you, I would love to see it just as a spectator. It's like watching a train wreck. It's gonna be one of those
Yeah.
things where you just can't look away, and maybe that's what he's counting on. Everyone's gonna be like, you need to tune in to see Jake Paul get flatlined.
Hmm.
So maybe that's his angle. I don't know. All right, so moving on. I will always and forever clown on Dana White. I can't stand the dude. He's an awful human being, mainly because of the way he treats his fighters. That's my main beef with the guy. He's about as awful an owner as there can be in professional sports. So that's what people are like. Why do you hate him so much? Why? That's why I hate the guy. He's not. I understand it's a business, right? But
Hmm.
other sports manage to make money without being complete scumbags to the guys who make them that money.
Yeah. Well,
Uh
this is a little like sidetrack, but I just want to talk about this for like a little bit. I don't know if you remember like a couple weeks ago when I showed you that MMA guru clip, and he was basically saying like, "Oh, some guys are lucky they're even getting 12 and 12 for a fight that you get paid for what you are." So like, what do you like
yeah.
say to that? Like,
So I'm glad you brought that up. So I do get that the UFC has expenses when they put on the shows, right? You got to pay for the venue, you got to pay this, you got to pay that, you got to pay et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I get all that. But you can't tell me that the gates that these guys pull in, and so we're going to get to that at the end of the show,
okay,
actually. With the money these guys are pulling in, with with the prices they're charging for these pay-per-views, with the prices they're charging for these tickets, you can't tell me that they can't pay these guys 12 to win, 12 to show. That's I just refuse to believe that.
yeah,
So I found it a little bit odd for MMA Guru because I like the guy. I like his takes on a lot of stuff. I found that weird.
hmm,
All right, so anyway, I wanted to play this clip because in it Dana says pretty much that he's not scared of the media. Every other action he does says otherwise. So take a quick listen to this.
I'm not afraid of the media. Why should anyone listen to the media? Who are these people? What makes them experts?
I always tend to watch after the pay-per-views, or if there's a big fight night card, I'll watch the post-fight press conference, and I'll maybe watch the first 5 minutes of his, because after that it's just softball and awful questions that the reporters give him, and I'm like, bro, like I can't answer these. So like, I mean, like as soon as I tune in, he talks about, for example, the attendance, the gate, who won fight of the night, who got like performance of the night, and then he'll maybe tease like a couple fights, and then after that it's just like awful. So like I just like stop watching.
This clip that I'm going to play right now is exactly what you're talking about. So this is for way back from in the days. This is when John was going to fight, I believe it was Gustafson.
First one or the second time?
I think it was the first one. Which was the one where they moved the entire event because Jones popped again? Was that the second
Ooh,
one?
I couldn't tell you. I thought that was for one of the DC ones.
All right, I can't remember, but anyway. So watch this clip.
Hi, over here. I'm going to start with a couple of questions to John. How come this is the third time we're actually taking focus from the fighters and the fights and talking about what you have in your body, whether it's a picogram or a pictogram? Why have you tested now positive?
Next question, please. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right. Dana White, tell me, why are we still having this guy here instead of seeing a 2-year suspension like Frank Mir?
Why are we still? Why are we still? What? What's the question? Hold on.
Someone move
hold
this
on.
girl,
Hold on.
please.
Hold on.
Sit down.
I'm sitting down.
Look,
I want to
Thank
take the
you.
mic from her. Better questions. Better
just wanna
journalism.
know
I don't understand what your question is.
Is there a
What's the
real
reason
better
for him
journalism?
having
Better
a
journalism.
picogram
You
in
suck.
his body?
Better journalism.
Hold on. Let him talk. What's the question?
What's the reason for John Jones having a picogram in his body?
Yeah, that's been the topic of
That's
this
why I'm
entire.
asking him.
Yeah,
Have you
well,
been- have you been listening?
I told you, like I told Ariel, talk to Jeff Nowitzki about that. If you want to know the science of what's going on, talk to him.
All right.
Okay, so there's so many things that infuriate me in that clip, but exactly to your point. First of all, Scumbag Jones gets pissed off that he got an actual question about why he popped again. And better questions, better journalism. Oh, you mean don't ask me about the things that I did wrong? So exactly to what you were saying, you don't see this anymore. And the reason is because Dana started banning anyone who asked actual questions. So exactly what you just said. And I'm glad I don't watch these things. You tell me you watch the pre and post and all that, and I don't watch any of that nonsense. I just watch the fights. But this doesn't go on anymore. He doesn't let anybody question the narrative that he's built around the UFC. So all you get is these softball questions because those are the guys he gives access to. Like those idiots, the ones he gave money to,
Like the Nuke Boys, right? Like them.
those guys. And then I have to say, I find her kind of hot. I do. Nina.
Yeah.
So those are the kinds of people that he gives access to because they're going to follow the narrative that he wants built around the UFC.
Yeah.
Right.
They're how do you call them nowadays? They're industry plants.
I'm not familiar with that term, but sounds about right. So yeah, 100%. Now, once that happened, there was this reporter. Her name was Loretta Jones, who wrote an article that set Dana off. I'm gonna play Dana's response to her, and then we'll talk about that. Watch this.
Loretta, you fucking moron. You are such a fucking genius. I actually totally off track here. I heard your interview that you did too about where you said Rich Franklin was our poster boy. Yeah, that's why he fought Anderson Silva fucking twice. And the only reason I'm talking about this is just to show how fucking dumb you are. Everything that comes out of your mouth is fucking stupid. Why would I give a shit who represents who? Yeah, there's no doubt. There's some guys out there that have managers that are absolute sleazy, dirty fucking scumbags. Hey, Loretta, if you're gonna write a story, you fucking moron.
So he goes John Jones level on that. He calls her a dumb fucking bitch, which is crazy. He later apologized for that, but and then somebody gave Loretta Jones an anonymous quote only on the condition that she wouldn't reveal their names because they were scared of repercussions. And Dana's like, what repercussions? Who anyone with balls would put their name on it? No, because you're a petty bitch and I'm not going to go up against you because you can damage me, my fighter, my other fighters, anyone I'm associated with.
Yeah.
So here, you guys can read this. And this is crazy. This person said, they're divisively trying to split management and fighters, said one representative. They're trying to depower the managers and agents to create a wedge between them. They give locker room bonuses and say this is from Dana and the UFC, nobody else. They're telling fighters they can go directly to them. They're telling fighters they'll be doing sponsorships themselves in the near future that will put the managers and the agents out of business. They're trying to minimize the managers and agents' role in the fighters' life so they can have better control salaries. 100% sounds what Dana would do, right? I 100% believe that. And this is an old article. This is old clips. That video actually looks like it was filmed with a potato, but it's to illustrate the point. Like I said, in this show, we don't really deal with conjecture or anything like that. The stuff that we bring you guys is facts. After this show's done, you can go and look all this stuff up. This is all facts, right? So he put that out there, and then it was like So he banned her and some other reporters who I should have got a list of other people who wouldn't play ball with him and wouldn't give softball questions to him and the fighters. So he banned all of them. The most famous being Ariel. Ariel got banned because he basically scooped the UFC 200. So
Yeah.
Dana was pissed off. Dana was, and rightfully, I get that one. You know, I don't know who gave who gave Ariel the scoop, but he ran with it, and Dana was not a happy camper. He banned that guy forever and ever, and I think they brought him back. I read somewhere. Anyway, so that's Dana, and what he does and how he runs the UFC. So for him to say something stupid like that, he's not afraid of the media, but you want to control the narrative in the tightest, strictest way that you possibly can, and only give access to idiots like those Nelk boys. I don't even know those clowns are, but anyway. All right, moving on. I wanted to talk about this one was hard for me because when I source media, I have to take clips and reduce them down to what I need, the person saying what I need. And this one was hard because it's Ilya talking about the when Joe asks him, who do you want next? Or what do you see yourself doing next? So obviously this was after when he KO'd Charles.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get the clip or part of this clip that I wanted, I had to watch that whole freaking thing.
Yeah.
And I'm still not doing social media with any of that nonsense that involves watching it.
I've kind of taken a step up. I scroll past it. Like I'm still on social media, but I just go past it if it happens to come up still.
No,
But
and the problem was because a lot of this was hard to find in the way that I wanted and the quality I wanted. So it was like, okay. So anyway, I got it here. So listen to this.
I don't know. We have some in this arena. There is a blonde. There is a guy that when it comes to the liver, his back hurts. So I don't know. Whoever is ready for me, I'm here. Let's fight. If you ready, I'm here.
You're talking about Patty Pimblett.
Okay, so he says some fucking guy who's when it comes time to deliver, his back hurts, whatever. And then Joe, for some reason, I didn't catch it at the moment. No, I'm lying. We did. We all said it. We all said, oh, he's talking about Armin.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow Joe turned it into, you're talking about Patty Pimblett. What the hell is he talking about? So anyway, that whole thing. So the reason I'm even bringing this up is because it seems that Armin has gotten himself out of Dana's doghouse for basically screwing up 311.
yeah.
I don't care what he says. And he screwed himself up by showing himself doing all these headstand rolls and other nonsense he was doing.
Yeah.
He missed weight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what he says. He tries to deny it.
Dana even said it. Like he said that the guy wasn't gonna make weight or something like that.
Yeah. So Armin was pissed about that he threw him under the bus. So from what I'm understanding and what I'm reading, it seems, and the latest or the most reliable source that I got on this is Uncle Chell.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that it's a done deal, that UFC is going to make Ilya defend against Armin. His first defense is going to be against Armin. Now, you've seen and I've seen where Ilya is saying he'd rather vacate than defend against Armin.
Yeah.
Have you heard different?
To be quite honest, for this whole time I was under the assumption that the UFC had told Armin multiple times that you will take another fight. You are not going to fight for a title. Your next fight will be a number one contender. So the fact that him and Ilya is You know, I mean, it's still rumors, but that it's possibly like a done deal. I don't know. He must have. What could he have done to get, as you said, out of the doghouse to get himself a title shot for someone who's been inactive since UFC 300, and we're now approaching UFC 319.
Yeah, there we go. Moving on. So it's confirmed our boy Charles is fighting Fiziev October 11th. He's the main event.
Yep.
I think it's too soon. It's going to be a very tough fight with a very tough guy.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon.
I saw the news today, like my jaw dropped because like how you said I was like, oh, he's back already. Like October is only 2 months away.
Well, I'm saying I think it's
Yeah.
too soon.
So it's a 4 month recovery. Not saying that Fiziev is this
World beater.
yeah, or that he hits as hard, like he hits as hard as guys like Ilya and Dustin and Gagey, but he's still like a really good fighter. I don't like this fight. I don't think it makes sense though that Charles is fighting down in the rankings. It seems like they want to keep his confidence. He'll probably pick up like a win
Yeah.
here because I was under the assumption that we wouldn't see Charles until they book Charles and Max for the BMF. That's what I thought was the next fight.
That's what we both thought. I thought the same.
And
I'm
it's just crazy because now he's gonna come. I think I saw that he's fighting in Rio. Two things. That one, it's his first time fighting in Rio in 5 years, and it's his first time fighting in a fight night in 5 years. So in 5 years, he's only been on pay-per-views.
I'm not a fan of this, but let's root hard for our boy Alas and see what happens there. All right. So the last thing I wanted to touch on is we have UFC 319 coming up, and I just wanted to chat about that real quick. So let me put up the fight card here, and then we can discuss this. Really, the two best fights on this is Cannonier and the main event. I'm going to put this up. 1 second. Where is it? Here. So apparently DDP wanted to fight Boers in Abu Dhabi. Apparently he was begging the UFC to make this fight over there. And his thinking was he wanted to, I guess his mentality is he wanted to whoop him in front of his people, is basically what he was saying.
Yeah.
So watch this.
I'm going to be super honest with you. When before this fight was made, I'm assuming the UFC got away for him or his team. I don't know. Somebody figured out that he can get into the US before announcing the fight for sure, and before letting me know that we are fighting. So my request was, I asked the UFC, and I begged them actually. I want to fight him either in Abu Dhabi, fight him in his neck of the woods, like I have been doing with so many other opponents. And I've grown quite fond of that. So that's what I want to do. I want to fight Abu Dhabi, Saudi, or any of that region, anywhere in that region, fighting there in front of his own crowd, his people. And they said they want to do Chicago. They let me know a couple of weeks later, okay, they're going to do Chicago. And I thought, well, great. It's a place I haven't seen. It's great. And, for me, it really makes no difference where the fight is, to be honest.
Okay. Well, you can see there, he basically out of his mouth says he begged the UFC to make this fight in Abu Dhabi. The guy's a savage, gotta say. But as far as this card is concerned, I'm really only concerned about the two, the co-main and DDP. Prediction on the main?
I want DDP to win. DDP has won me over, and I am a fan, but I'm gonna go with Chimaev a first round submission. I think
Really?
I think he's gonna ragdoll him. I don't think
Interesting.
he's seen the strength and the speed that Chimaev has.
Yeah. I don't have a pick as of right now. I still don't have a pick. I think they both guys don't have the greatest gas tank,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see how that goes if it gets dragged into the later rounds. DDP's no Shemaev type grappler,
No.
but he. I think it's gonna be. I think it's going to be a very good fight. I don't think. I
Maybe
don't
he
think he gets
could.
him.
Maybe he could out awkward Chimaev because we know
Yeah.
he's the most awkward fighter. So
I think I saw a video somewhere where somebody asked him, and he was like, he starts throwing all these like dopey half
yeah,
punches, and
like
I was like, okay. And then I think it's still going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a really good fight.
mhm.
Now, closing out this show, just yet another dig at Dana. I'm going to put this up here so you guys can see. Look at this in terms of why people are saying there's a plateauing of the UFC and what we referred to at the beginning of the show. The prices and what they're paying their talent. February 2005, a pay-per-view was $29.95. Right? You look here. Look and see how these prices went up. The same year, it went up to $34.95. Year later to $39. 2 years later to $44, $54, $59, $64, $69, $74. And I believe they're somewhere in the neighborhood of
I think they're at
$80
80.
now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 80
And-
now.
And I don't even know because we don't watch them. We go to people's houses and everybody chips in for their pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And so I've never paid for a full pay-per-view. Like we just do the group thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to know what UFC 168 was. The fact that it was like a little pay bump. Also, I don't know. The fact that the pay-per-views have just gone up that much. And sometimes, like, I could even understand, back then, because, you've been watching a lot more longer than me. Sometimes a card can be worth $30, but you're telling me there's been some cards lately that you want me to pay $80 for that? Like, for example, I think the most, let's see, and if I could think of worst cards recently, the first one that comes to mind is 312, which was Strickland and Drakus at the second time. That was an awful card. How could you expect someone to pay $80 for that?
And then the worst part of the whole equation is the prices that he charges for the tickets.
Yo,
like
awful.
we got priced out. We got priced out of this last Newark card
2 years in a row now.
because what he charges is just insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's insane. It's obscene. And then it's like, okay, why aren't they putting shows in New Jersey or place? Because you charge too damn much. You charge too damn much, and people would rather sit in their friend's living room and give them $5, bring beer and pizza, and watch it that way.
Also, like, I think it's funny how when we have like these watch parties for the pay-per-views that when they do like the ads and it'll say like save 10% off of, so like they'll probably do like save 10% off of UFC 320. So it's 70 instead of 80. Like, oh, what a huge difference. Like,
yeah. And what you're putting out there and asking the people to charge for, if he would say, you know what, this isn't the greatest card, I'm gonna cut this to $40.
You know how many
You'll
more
get
pay-per-view and pay-per-view points and the fighters pay will go up. There's ways to do things, but
But we don't know any better.
we use our heads
All right.
too much for him.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's all we have for this show. And episode 10, like I said, we had a lot of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take us out, Ben.
All right. Like always, we reached a little milestone today. Just make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, you got to turn on those post notifications so you can stay tuned for when we post anything. And then, of course, we could use the support. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at the Spacetime Sessions.
You guys on the next one.
All right.